Veteran NASA astronaut Sunita Williams has retired after a remarkable 27-year career, marking the end of an extraordinary journey in space exploration. Her retirement took effect on 27th of December last year. Williams has spent a cumulative 608 days in space, the second highest total by any NASA astronaut. She is currently visiting India, and CNN News 18, your channel, spoke exclusively with Sunita Williams. Listen in to this exclusive conversation.
Today we have a very special guest with us, astronaut Sunita Williams. Welcome, ma'am. So,
thank you.
How does it feel to be back in India, and how is Kerala?
Yeah, it's great to be back in India. I've been looking forward to coming here to see people for a long time. I was a little bit occupied with a couple other things going on, both on the planet and off the planet, getting ready for my last flight. So unfortunately, I haven't been here for a number of years. So it was great to be able to come back. I was pretty excited. And Kerala is one of the places my father had talked about quite a bit, so I was really excited to be able to actually see Kerala for myself and experience, of course, the wonderful food that's here and the wonderful people.
So this is your first visit, and food is something which is, that has stuck out for you in Kerala.
Of course, yes, of course. I haven't experienced everything yet, but I had a little taste of it when I was at a literary book festival in Sharjah in UAE, and some of the same people, same players were there, and I went to a restaurant there that was incredible. So I was excited to know that this is the birth of it, and I'm coming back here.
What's your favorite so far that you have tasted?
Oh, I don't know. The little peppers that are in yogurt, I had those for the first time today. Those are pretty hot, but they're pretty awesome. But I know there's more to be had. I just got here last night, and I've been at the hotel, but I know there's other places in town that I need to check out. And then by the end of the week, I'll have a favorite.
Going to your last mission, started off for 8 days, went on for 9 months. How was its situation at that time, and how did you cope with it, both mentally and physically?
Yeah, so, me and the gentleman that I flew with, Butch Wilmore, both of us like to work out, so we had planned from the very beginning, as soon as we got there, we were going to start working out. And I'm really glad we did that, and under the anticipation of, we'd just be home pretty quickly, but we just wanted to, that's part of both of our routines. It set us up for a longer routine just to make sure that we were physically okay up there for 9 months. And I think that's always one of the best parts of the day, when you have the opportunity to get on the treadmill and get on the bike or lift weights, as we do every single day, to maintain our bone density and muscle mass. But it's just a nice time to actually have a little bit of a mental break of things that are going on. Obviously, needed a mental break. There was a lot going on last summer. The figuring out whether or not we were coming or going, that took a little while. We knew we were going to be up there longer than 8 days, pretty much as soon as the second day started, and we started having a little bit of problems. We knew those were problems that needed to be solved. We didn't know exactly how they were going to be solved or how they could be solved, and so that was the process over the summer. And it was fun at first, obviously, because I love being in space. That was great. But then, I wouldn't say indecision, but the decision-making process is very intricate. A lot of people have to understand the problem. A lot of people have to then understand the solution and whether or not that could happen or not. And as that process was playing out, of course, we're dragging along all of our family as well. And so just keeping them in the loop. We all had plans to come back and, go on vacations or do things with, Butch's kids or my mom, who's getting older. And so all of that sort of started weighing on, I think, both of us. I was actually relieved when the decision was made, and my family and friends were all super supportive. Made the phone call. I was a little bit nervous about it, like, okay, I think we're not coming back for another 6 months. They're like, okay, have a good time. Just, come back on a safe spacecraft and keep us informed. On my previous flights, I had written a journal like every week, so updated people on what's going on, and I was missing that I wasn't going to be able to do it this time, but obviously I got to be able to do that.
At any point, did you feel helpless there?
Not necessarily helpless, because there's hundreds, if not thousands, of people who are working on solutions. This problem is much bigger than ourselves. The whole space station program is much bigger than just me and Butch. We just happen to be the ones who are on that spacecraft in this time. So, how all of those spacecraft, as they're coming and going, interplay into the International Space Station's roles and responsibilities to our international partners, that's huge, right? So that's a lot of dedication by so many people, a lot of money, obviously, too. So we want to make sure all of that is being upheld. We knew that we were along for the ride with all of this, and we would be fine.
You had said that once you went there to the International Space Station, first thing was to look for home, basically India and Slovenia, the
Yep.
homeland of your parents. So how did seeing Earth from space shape or reshape your relations back home with your family? How was it?
Well, I think the best thing to do is share it, and to share it in such a way that people understand. One of the concepts I mentioned earlier today was like, this is a planet, 71% of it's water. We only occupy the little 28 point something whatever percent that's left as people, and some of that is a pretty harsh environments to live in. And it's sort of surprising to me that, where we live in an area around the equator, we all can't just sort of get along. And so having, the experience to not only see where people come from, but then picture all of the people and friends and family that I know down there, but then also thinking about globally about the rest of the population on the planet, and how my experience is very unique, and I'd like to share that with people so everyone could sit back for just a second and think about their role on this planet and how we should get along together.
India is preparing for its Gaganyaan mission. How are you seeing India's space missions?
Yeah, I think everything is up and coming. I'm so happy for the things that have happened just recently with the Axiom 4. Captain Shukla was the pilot on that mission, so awesome. Our partnerships with the Indian Space Agency for sensors and spacecraft, getting ready to go back to the moon, that's awesome. So I think the Indian space program, the imagination is the limits, right? So whatever they want to do, it's great. I will be happy. I'll be cheering them along. I think partnerships with other agencies is just incredible. It allows us to do things that we never thought we could do on our own. So that's also part of all of this as well. And I hope the United States and India space programs will work together.
So we see that India is expanding, there is expansion on the space program. So on an international level, are you seeing collaboration, especially between NASA and ISRO in the future? How do you think about it?
Oh, absolutely. We have 5 major agencies that contributed to the International Space Station as we were doing the all the agreements and then in the building of the space station. But we've had other people from other countries be part of the International Space Station. So I see that as an opening door for as many other nations as possible that want to be involved in this joint cooperation and exploration. I think it's really important. It goes right back to the concept that we just talked about. Like, this is one planet and we all come from here. So as we leave low Earth orbit and go farther on and explore our solar system, it seems right that we go as human beings. And just having everybody join in would be awesome.
Do you have plans to go to the moon?
I would love to go to the moon, but I think I'm passing that on to the next generation of astronauts who hopefully I've mentored a little bit and maybe gave them some good ideas, not too many bad ideas, and I'm excited for them to do that.
We have heard that you love samosas, and then you have even taken a Ganesha when you went to the space station. What does it mean to you?
Oh, these little artifacts from India, and including food, and artifacts from Slovenia, including food, have gone to space with me. I'm just sort of a representation of where I came from and what defines me, my parents and their cultures. I think you can't get away from that. And I don't want to, because I think that enriches the whole experience, and to share the space station, space exploration with those cultures was really meaningful and important to me.
What's your post-retirement plans? Will we be seeing you more in India?
That would be great. I hope so. Now time is on my schedule a little bit more. I get to decide where I'm going. Not that it was it was great being a NASA astronaut and doing the projects that I was assigned to do. I loved it, but now I have a little bit more free time to spend with family and friends, and that means coming to places like India and Slovenia.
Any plans to collaborate with the space programs here in India?
Not yet. We'll see what happens. We'll see.
You have been inspiring a lot of young students, young scientists. Any word of advice to them, especially to young girls?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many opportunities out there. Don't hesitate. Go for it. Just do it. And, part of it is I'm here at the Literary Festival in Kerala. Reading, and understanding different concepts in different perspective from different people and ideas is all put together in doing research, and that's what reading is all about. So I love it, and that's something that all girls and boys should be doing.
9 spacewalks. Can you tell us which one was most memorable for you?
Probably the first of everything is most memorable, but my second to last one was pretty intense, just because my head was very close doing an operation next to our spacecraft that was bringing us home. And as we were waiting for that spacecraft to get there, that pristine spacecraft, I didn't want to be the one that wrecked it. So I was very conscientious of where it was. And then finally, my last spacewalk, which I mentioned a number of times, space exploration and spacecraft and rockets and science experiments seems very complicated. But sometimes the easiest solution is something very simple. We had to take a box off of a platform, and we ended up using a couple crowbars. So sometimes the simple instrument is the tool you need.
Many of us, including me, heard your name first in general knowledge books while we were preparing for competitive exams, I should say. So this interview today is truly special. Thank you so much for speaking to CNN News 18.
Thank you. My pleasure.